I have been an iOS user for the past 6 years. I started with the iPhone 5S, then I got the iPhone 6S, and then I made the switch over to the iPhone 10. The iPhone 10 was everything that I wanted in a smartphone. It had an OLED display, it had the edge-to-edge display, and it was an iOS device to top it all off. But after almost 2 years of owning the iPhone 10, I think it's safe to say that I'm ready to switch to Android. For starters, it's been 6 years, and iOS has barely changed all that much. Now, it has changed, but it's still kind of boring to me now. Like, it feels as though iOS has gotten stale, and I'm not asking for the ability to customize whatever I want, but to provide some sort of customization on the iPhone wouldn't hurt. They say when you start to dislike things, you start nitpicking all of the tiny things that never bothered you before, but they bother you now. For example, one of my biggest things right now is if you go onto Twitter and you click a YouTube link, first it'll open up a mini browser within Twitter. Then you can select to send it to Safari, to then select to open in YouTube, and then you can watch it on the app that it was intended to be watched on. It's such a tedious process for no reason, and I spend an obscene amount of time on Twitter, so to me, this is a problem. Another reason is Face ID. Now, not Face ID as it is, but just Face ID in general. And the fact that you are only able to use Face ID or password to really unlock your device. They removed the thumbprint scanner in the iPhone 10 and 10s and 10s Max series. Why? And to me, this just blows my mind. I put up with it, but it's gotten to the point now where I can't stand it anymore. I can't unlock my phone when I'm outside wearing sunglasses. I can't unlock my phone when I'm laying in bed. And yes, granted, take that with a grain of salt because I can technically unlock it, but I have to manually input my password every single time. And I just feel like that's so backwards. The thumbprint scanner was always so reliable. I can unlock my phone with literally just my thumbprint, and that always worked for me. That's probably one of the biggest things that I'm looking forward to in switching to an Android device, is getting the thumbprint scanner back. And lastly, the fact that I can't set specific apps as my default apps for certain tasks really has started to get on my nerve. For example, I absolutely hate Apple Maps right now, and I'm sure they have the potential to become a great Maps application, but right now, it is terrible to me. I prefer Google Maps. I can't get rid of it. I deleted Apple Maps to be able to make Google Maps my main application for navigation. But every time that I go to click on an address, or I go to click on something that requires me to leave what I'm doing to go to a navigation app, it tells me, hey, you don't have Apple Maps installed. Let's go to the App Store to install it. Ridiculous. I understand their idea of wanting to use their applications on their device. Okay, cool. But I really like the ability to set which applications are my primary applications for said tasks. If I could switch Spotify over as my main music app, that'd be great. If I could switch Google Maps as my main maps, that would be fantastic, but I can't. And I really don't see Apple allowing that anytime soon. Now, I'm not saying Android's gonna solve all of my problems. There is a lot of things that Apple has pushed out that have really kind of kept me in their ecosystem. Some of these things include AirDrop, iMessage, the ability to send iMessage on computers, iCloud, and the use of my Apple Watch. But after doing a ton of research on Android devices, you know what I found out? I found out that one, I don't really use AirDrop as much as I thought I did, or I don't really use it as much as I really could. Two, apparently Google's in development right now of their own iMessaging system, their own messaging system that uses data to send messages as opposed to the SMS network, which when that comes out, who needs iMessage at that point? Three, you can go to message.google.com and send messages on your computer, and it would be as if nothing changed. FaceTime, I don't even remember when the last time I used FaceTime was. I use Instagram video more than I use FaceTime because the quality on Instagram video, for some reason, seems to be way better than FaceTime. I use Google Drive way more than iCloud. In fact, Google Drive is my primary use of storage. It's even safe to say that I could use Google Drive to replace AirDrop because I use it so much more. And lastly, really, the Apple Watch. I mean, if you saw my last video, then you know I'm pretty much done with this Apple Watch. As soon as I get rid of my iPhone and switch it for an Android device, I'm either going to get a watch that supports Android, or I'm just going to switch back to a digital analog watch. All in all, I'm excited for the switch. I truthfully am. Now, you're either watching this video from the perspective of an iOS user who's thinking about switching to Android, or an Android user who's thinking about switching to iPhone. Or maybe you're here to just laugh at me because I'm gonna have green bubbles like everybody else. Or you're here because you're an Android user who loves coming to people who have iOS devices after they've seen the light. Whatever the case, as of right now, I'm pretty much sold on Android. Now, that's not to say that Apple can't win me over. They still have the iPhone 11 to announce, as well as what features iOS 13 is gonna bring. But honestly, I don't really see both of those things being such a big innovative push this year. Now, Google, on the other hand, if you've seen the Google I/O 2019 video recaps, then you know that Google has been doing some amazing stuff with their virtual assistant. I don't know, whatever the case may be, I want to know what you guys think. So comment down below, what phone do you use? Do you use an iPhone? Do you use an Android? Are you on the Galaxy? Are you on the Google Plus? Maybe the iPhone XS? What are your thoughts on all of these phones? And what are your thoughts on switching? Do you ever think about switching? Are you just happy with what you have? Whatever the case may be, leave them in the comment section down below. Love to hear what you guys think. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more tech-related content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.